Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal, the Crystalline Priestess. If you are new here, I'm an intuitive tarot reader and an astrologer, and today we have a fun little pick a card. It's kind of an astrological based pick a card. We're actually having a look at how the North Node being in Taurus over the past 18 months has really leveled up your life, where it's made some big shifts and changes. Essentially where the North and South Node is, you know, astrologically in a chart, that is kind of giving us information as to where the soul is currently evolving, where the soul is currently sort of moving in the direction of. So with the North Node being in Taurus, collectively over the past 18 months, a lot of us have been moving through a lot of self-worth stuff. We've essentially been releasing some very Scorpionic ideals. With the South Node being in Scorpio, kind of means that we're letting go of, you know, self-sabotaging ways of maybe expressing our shadow. There's so much that we could really get into when it goes into looking at the North and the South Node and how that levels up the collective, but I kind of want to have a look at how it's specifically been leveling up you. And without looking at your birth chart, it's easier to just do a tarot reading. So we're just going to do a quick little tarot reading. I only have two groups. We just have one group, which will be the little Buddha guy, group 1, and then group 2 will be this cute little angel baby. So I'll give you guys a second to pick your cards, but essentially we're just going to have a quick little look at what the last 18 months has kind of leveled you up into becoming, because literally next week the North Node's going to move into Aries. So, you know, we're starting a whole new karmic journey and a whole new karmic path. Which means we kind of got to wrap up this one. So I feel like tying this sort of like chapter of life up with a nice little bow. So yeah, let's pretty much have a look at just where you've been shifting, where you've been changing, and how the nodes have really been leveling you up. Because this next lot of karmic lessons that we're going to be learning as the nodes move into Aries and Libra, they're going to be pretty rough, they're going to be pretty intense, they're going to be pretty hectic. So I'm feeling like a moment to integrate what we've just been through really could be helpful. So grab a tea, get some wine, roll yourself a spliff, do whatever the fuck you do to get yourself in a cozy vibe, and let's like really get deep on how you've really changed and how you can really keep implementing these changes and how you can keep growing and moving forward. So I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in your group. Peace! Okay, group 1, welcome. If you chose Buddha, then this is going to be your reading for how the North Node in Taurus has leveled you the fuck up, my friend. So straight away, the first message, literally impatience. I feel like you used to be a lot more impatient. I feel like when the North Node first moved into Taurus, which, you know, would have been 2021, halfway through 2021 maybe? Yeah, I feel like when the North Node moved into Taurus, you were in a very, very, very different place. I think that you wanted things to, I feel like you had this energy where you wanted to step into this new version of you, i.e. some of you guys wanted to start a business, some of you guys wanted to start a whole new career, some of you guys maybe wanted to buy a house. I'm feeling like some of you guys maybe wanted to make some big life changes, big life choices, and I feel like when you first stepped into this energy maybe halfway through 2021, you were impatient. It feels like you wanted things to like happen really quickly. You wanted life to just like manifest the way you wanted it to do, the way you thought it should, and it didn't. And I feel like the North Node in Taurus has kind of been like waking you up to where you really try to push and rush through things. I feel like you guys, we have the Knight card at the bottom of the deck that says be brave and honest, and we have Autumn, release the old and rest. So I feel like when the North Node moved into air to Taurus, it kind of acted as a wake-up call, because you weren't in alignment with the fact that you actually are a much more slow moving person than sometimes I think you give yourself, like that you let yourself believe. Now that sounds like a weird message, but I feel like you have adopted a belief, a societal belief, that taught you that productivity is everything. So if you stop, then you're failing. If you stop, then you're being lazy. And so the North Node being in Taurus, what is Taurus? But it's the energy of peace. It's the energy of harmony. It's Venusian energy. So Taurus can sometimes get the connotation of being lazy. So now having the North Node in Taurus, well, obviously that woke you up to maybe where you feel like you are lazy. Maybe you feel like you are inadequate. Maybe you feel like you didn't do enough. And that really woke that up to this, I need to make it happen, I need to make it happen, I need to make it happen. That's that South Node in Scorpio. That's the shadows. The shadows within you that were kind of really coming up were shadows that made you feel as if you needed to project yourself out in the world as this idealized, already successful version of you in order to become the version of you that you want to become. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like you were in an energy where you wanted to be known for something, seen for something, or you wanted to be, what's the word, like, celebrated for something. Like, you wanted people to see you in a certain way, and yet when the North Node moved into Taurus, it slowed you right the fuck down, and it made you have to actually stop and, you know, start to think about things in a deeper way, start to move in a deeper way, start to take action in a way that was a lot more slow moving. And I think at first that made you really, really uncomfortable. We have the She-Wolf and Shapeshifter coming out. Unleash the wild within and transform and unveil your gifts. So the North Node being in Taurus woke you up to your gifts. It woke you up to where you essentially have been hiding your light, where you've been stowing parts of yourself away. And that's why I think when the North Node moved into Taurus, I'm seeing this snake here, so Scorpio. It's kind of, a lot of you guys, I feel like you guys might have your North and South Node in Taurus and Scorpio. Maybe you know, a North Node in Scorpio and a South Node in Taurus. You might have been having a nodal opposition. Maybe some of you guys had Scorpio or Taurus placements, but it just feels like it really like woke up some subconscious shit within you. And I think that if you're, like, say you're thinking and listening to this reading now and you're thinking back to 2021, right? Halfway through 2021. Think of yourself now and look at yourself. Think of yourself then and look at yourself now. I'm feeling like you guys are really proud. I think you should be really proud of seeing just how much progress you've actually made in your ability to communicate yourself to the collective. Now I think that a lot of you guys, when you first, the North Node first moved into Taurus, you felt all this excitement, you felt all this energy, like, yeah, let's go, let's do this thing, but it wasn't the right time. I feel like the Taurus North Node has been trying to slowly help you understand that progress, true progress and sustainable long-term progress is slow. It's not overnight. Literally slow down to speed up. That is your energy, and I feel like that is where you're really learning this powerful lesson in the fact that sometimes you actually have to slow down. Sometimes you actually have to be quiet. You have to release. The universe, I feel like, for you guys, might have even slapped you in the face a few times with literal circumstances that had you on your ass, that put you down, that made you have to rest. Some of you guys, like, it just feels like the universe put you in a portal to see the fucking truth. Be brave and honest. Like, you, I think up until the North Node moved into Taurus, were not honest with yourself. I think that, I feel like you guys have always had this, like, knowing that you're gifted and that you have something to, like, share and something to be in the world. But I feel like up until the North Node moved into Taurus, you kind of couldn't quite articulate it in a way that truly felt like it was possible, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's now that you're starting to see possibility. I think even this entire transit, things might have actually felt quite difficult. Things might have felt quite heavy. And it's not until now, coming out of this transit, that you're starting to feel the actual release. I feel like you guys can literally feel the release of that South Node Scorpio, letting your shadows go. So we have Gemini, I think. Makes a lot of sense. You know, the lessons that you kind of have been learning since the North Node has been in Taurus is how to calm your mind. I think, oh my god, look, we have Mercury mind. So I think that you guys in the past might have been, you know, my pile who were kind of pretty good at spiritually bypassing. It kind of feels like you might have, I don't know, it just feels like it might have been easier for you to like be all love and light and to kind of ignore the darkness. And I think that the South Node moving into Scorpio kind of woke you up to the darkness. This she-wolf card literally says unleash the wild within. So there was both of these cards have wolves on them as well. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm trying to talk without pain. But I think that the South Node in Scorpio really woke you up to where you've been completely denying an entire side of yourself. For some of you guys, it might be a sexual side. We have the moon coming out, soul. You guys have literally, you are repressing your own soul. We have earth element, stability. So yeah, you guys literally, and void of course, moon missing at the bottom. So you guys were literally missing a part of your soul. Like it feels like up until the North Node has gone through this Taurus transit, you guys were missing a part of yourselves. You guys were missing the leader within you. That's what it feels like. This Knight, she-wolf shapeshifter, it feels like you guys were missing the part of your soul that felt like it actually is capable of pretty much being of service. I feel like a lot of you guys, it is being of service. I feel like a lot of you guys are very, very connected with your spirituality. Some of you guys, like I'm hearing shaman. So, you know, essentially that means like someone that's working with the earth, someone that's working with nature and the elements. Some of you guys, I feel like maybe even this North Node in Taurus kind of woke you up to maybe some of your ancestry as well. We have the Seven of Cups coming out. So I think that before you were quite confused. I think up until this point you were maybe a little bit uncertain. I feel like you guys were kind of just like going with the flow of life, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But it kind of just feels like you had, look, Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So it feels like you guys had your sights set on, you know, a new life for sure. But it wasn't until these past 18 months that we've just been through that I think that new life has started to actually look like a reality. I think that maybe like in 2020 when all the shit went down for all of us, it woke you up to where, okay, I need to change. I need to connect myself with my Dharma. I need to connect myself with my soul purpose, but I don't know what that is. The past year and a half has woken you up to what that is. I would be very surprised if any of you guys weren't sure of the direction that you're meant to be moving in now. I feel like you guys who are on this reading, you know, if you chose the Buddha, you guys are ready to find peace. You guys are ready to sit in the peace that you've already found within yourself by actually getting really, really close to your own soul, getting really, really close to your own heart. The moon is exalted in Taurus. The moon loves to be in Taurus because it is so stable. It is literally the sign of, it's like the stablest earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign, which means that, you know, it doesn't budge. It doesn't budge. So, you know, there might have been a lot of resistance as you guys have been navigating this energy. I feel like over the past 18 months there's been a lot of uncertainty. It feels like a lot of tears. It feels like a lot of maybe even family and ancestral things that have come up that really shocked the shit out of you. I feel like for some of you guys, it's the fact that you've been quite unstable over these past 18 months, and that's what the North Node in Taurus will do. It will wake you up to where you need to get financially fucking stable, where you need to create a healthy, rooted vibrations, foundations in your life so that you can move into, you know, a healthy way of being that actually suits you that actually connects with you, that you can actually thrive in being, because you can't thrive in a lack mentality. You can't thrive when you are experiencing not enoughness. You just literally can't. And that's why they fucking try to keep so many of us in this lack mentality, because we're better to them that way. You know what I mean? Like, they don't actually want liberation. They don't actually want people to feel as though we can prosper and thrive by being our authentic selves. Like, that's pretty cray-cray. They really don't like it. So I feel like you guys, when I say they, I mean like the negative powers that be. That's what I'm calling it from now on. I'm just calling it the powers that be. You guys fucking get it, and if you don't, well, you know, do some research. I feel like you guys will know what I'm talking about, though. If you know, you know. I'm talking about those reptilian motherfuckers, okay? Anyway, I feel like you guys really are very, very powerful light workers. Like, this Chariot coming out, it's like you have a mission. You have a divine mission on this planet. You have a mission to serve. Page of Cups, you have a mission to bring forgiveness and joy and lightness into the heart of others. And I feel like that's why maybe this transit was actually really, really, really intense for you. It really had you going to the depths. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you might have experienced a lot of financial difficulty and hardship over the past 18 months. With this Void of Course Moon missing as well, you know, it feels like maybe the stability was missing, the resources have been missing. For some of you guys, you might have children, and it's been really tough because you want to have the resources, you know, to provide for your children, but you also want to be able to nourish your own soul, nourish your own heart, and be of service in that way through nourishing your own soul. And I feel like that's been a difficult balance to kind of maintain, a difficult equilibrium to try and find, you know what I mean? And I kind of feel as though that has caused some stifling on your creativity. I feel like you guys are really creative, and the past 18 months, maybe you guys have felt like there's been a little bit of a block on your creativity, because essentially you're being like opened. I feel like your heart is being cracked open. What is the major lesson for group 1 for the Spirit? But yeah, you guys have been cracked open. We have Asclepios, sacred medicine. So this transit has been medicine to your soul. As uncomfortable as it has been, as dark as it might have been, as difficult as it might have been, as much as you probably have had a lot of fucking anxiety and a lot of uncertainty and discomfort and fear over these past 18 months, there's like a real sense of like warriorhood here as well. Like someone really being like literally a peaceful warrior. Like being someone who is like literally beating down the motherfucking dark through finally learning to like soften and embrace harmony and embrace peace. Because I feel like up until this North Node in Taurus, I feel like you guys might have been in a really hard energy, really harsh energy. You might have been a little bit cold. You might have been a little bit disconnected. And I feel like this transit, like as uncomfortable as it's been, it's really woken you up to your sensitivity. We have King Neptune as your biggest lesson. Sensitivity, being able to actually experience your intuition in a whole new way. I feel like you guys, up until this North Node Taurus, you might not have been able to, and that's why patience came out. I feel like because you guys just wanted everything to like move so quickly, you wanted things to just, you know, happen quickly, you weren't able to like stop and smell the roses and stop and like actually give yourself a moment to breathe. What we don't realize is like when we slow down, we actually allow ourselves space. How many of us don't even know how we're breathing? You know what I mean? Like right now, while you're watching this reading, pay attention to your breath. How are you breathing? Are you breathing short? Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing quickly? Or are you breathing long, slow, deep breaths? Pay attention. King Neptune, the North Node in Taurus is woken you up to your own feelings, to your own body, to your own soul, to your own spirit. I think that you were literally disconnected from your fucking self. like deeply disconnected from yourself. And I think in a way that you didn't realize, because I feel like you guys might have thought that you were doing really well up until this transit. You might have thought that you were really happy and things were going really, really well, and that you were, you know, I'm getting this feeling of someone who literally was spiritually bypassing so much that they thought everything was all okay, and so they were bouncing through life thinking like, you know, oh, everything's fine, everything's great, blah, blah, blah. Boom, North Node in Taurus hits. Shit goes a little cray-cray. You are essentially being woken up because you need to find clarity. You didn't have clarity before. Before, it feels like you're a fish floundering. Like you were just kind of like, I'm trying to get back in the ocean, but I don't know how. I'm just going to flounder and hope that I land. Now you're actually focusing on something. Now you're actually going to be putting your energy and your attention into a certain thing. And that's the thing. For a lot of you guys, it feels like this is mission orientated, this is mission based. It's really about who you came here to be, how you came to serve the collective and yourself. A lot of you guys, it really just feels like North Node in Taurus is like got you seeing so clearly who you need to be, how you need to show up, who you need to serve, how you need to be the healer. You're a healer for sure. But it's kind of like, I think in the past you didn't entirely know how to actually heal, how to actually do all that sort of stuff. You guys have really matured a lot. You've really grown up a lot. We have the 8 of Coins. So a lot of you guys, you're getting to work. I feel like I was saying, this is mission-based for the majority of you guys. Well, all of you, really. I'm going to say that you guys who chose pile 1, this is mission-based. Look, we have the 3 of Swords and underneath the 8 of Coins. So, in the past, work, career, mission, soul purpose, that might have felt like it was overwhelming. You might have thought that you were alright, you might have thought that you had it together, but in your heart you knew you didn't. Sacred medicine, oh my god. And then underneath that we have Amaterasu. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. No more hiding. So you guys were hiding your joy, you guys were hiding your true self. You guys have literally been hiding your own heart. I feel like for some of you guys, like this isn't, I'm going to use myself as an example. Before 2020 and 2021, I was a devoted yogi. Yoga is my thing. I fucking love yoga with my whole heart. It's amazing. I love it. I did a beautiful 500-hour teacher training. I spent $10,000 on that training. And I never finished it. And you know why I didn't finish it? Because it got to the point where I realized that I don't actually want to be a yoga teacher. Now I'm sitting here doing tarot and this is aligned with my soul. But this North Node in Taurus transit, that's gotten me clearer and clearer and clearer on the fact that I don't want to be a yoga teacher, because I still kept thinking about it this whole time. I felt so guilty that I didn't finish my training, that I didn't become a yoga teacher when I spent so much fucking money and time, and I loved it so much. Like, that training was one of the best times of my entire life. And I couldn't understand why I would have given that up. Until now. Until I've finally gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't want to go hire out a hall and go like do a yoga class every few days and hope that like 3 people turn up. Like, that's not what I feel like doing. I fucking feel like sitting here and filming this reading for you guys right now. So that's me being in alignment with how my soul wants to serve, because my soul knew that it wanted to serve. That's why it went to yoga. But it didn't want to serve in that way. And now I've found the way that serves me for right now, because it's always going to change. Like this shapeshifter, you're always shapeshifting and you're always changing. So that's why, like, you know, it's okay to change your mind. That's why I'm bringing up this yoga thing. I no longer feel guilty and resentful and shit about myself because I'm not a yoga teacher. I accept the fact that I'm a yogi. I'm just not a yoga teacher. I love yoga, and maybe one day I'll share with you guys some yoga for the signs, you know, and things like that. But it's not my calling, it's not my soul. It's like, I don't want to spend all day every day talking about yoga. I'd much rather spend all day every day talking about astrology. So that's kind of where I'm getting at. You guys have now found that within yourself. The end of this North Node in Taurus transit has you seeing. You know, I feel like your vision is so much further than it was before. I feel like your vision before was half-assed. And that sounds really weird, but it was too close. It was like, literally your vision was so close to you that you couldn't see beyond what was right in front of you. Now you're seeing the bigger picture. Now you're seeing things from a much higher, healthier, holier perspective. The 6 of Coins is coming out because this is finally time. As the North Node wraps up her transit in Taurus, money's going to become smoother. Money's going to get easier. Money is going to become something that you're not so afraid of. I feel like your fears around money really were activated over this transit deep within your soul. So within your soul, and this is because a lot of you guys would have had money programming from childhood. You probably had parents who had money issues or just money beliefs that got pushed onto you, societal beliefs. It doesn't even have to be our parents. Sometimes we can have friends, or we can just be in society that pretty much convinces us that, you know, money's either evil or it's only people that are rich are evil. You know, wealth is a bad thing. Money, you know, beliefs that money doesn't grow on trees and it's difficult to come by. All that sort of shit. Like, all those beliefs, I feel like they were running rampant in your psyche. They were running rampant in the back of your mind without you even being aware of it. With this Gemini, I think, and this Seven of Cups, you didn't even fucking realize the subconscious thoughts that you were having. Here's another example I'm going to give you from myself, because I'm only going to ever give self-examples because it's easiest. Right. When I was doing my goddamn yoga teacher training, I remember my mentor asking me to rate my happiness, like how I felt every day, on a scale of like 0 to 100. What would that be? You know what I fucking said? I was 22 at the time. I said, I am happy 95% of the time. I'd say, I might have even said 98. I was like, 98% happy. All's good. My life's fucking fantastic. I'm sweet. Yoo-hoo! Are you fucking serious? I truly believed it. She looked at me like, okay. Sure. She was much older than me. She was my mentor. She was obviously looking at me going, you're so young. You're so young. And so now, you know, I'm 28 now. And I realized that I was fucking super duper spiritual, bypassing everything so badly. And so that's why I'm bringing this up now. Like, there came a point where I had to realize that I actually had some really chronic subconscious beliefs that were stopping me from doing anything and everything. Even when it came to that yoga teacher training, at first the reason why I didn't finish and teach people was because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was good enough. But do you think I ever actually said that out loud or thought that in those words out loud? Fuck no, I didn't realize at all. I didn't realize that I was procrastinating. I didn't realize that I didn't finish it for a reason. You know what I mean? You're now at this awareness. I say all this because this is probably the pile I'm going to choose. We've come to an awareness of where we've been holding ourselves back. You've come to an awareness of where you've been your own worst enemy subconsciously. Like, we have the moon out here twice. The moon is the subconscious mind. You guys were being ruled by your subconscious mind. And now, with the North Node wrapping up her transit in Taurus, you're ruling with your heart, you're ruling with your spirit, you're ruling with your fucking voice, you know? Taurus rules the throat, the voice. You guys, and I know that I'm sick, but like, I'm awfully having a lot of trouble speaking in your reading. And this, all I can see is her mouth and the way she's like, ooh. It just feels like for you guys, like throat chakra activation. Some of you guys might also sing, and I think maybe over the past few years you weren't singing as much. The end of this transit is going to have you singing, and singing is going to really help to activate and release your throat chakra. Jesus Christ. So, a lot of you guys have the gift of communication. Whether that's singing or whether that's just speaking, writing. Either way, you guys have a voice that really connects with others. You might have Jupiter in the second house. You might natally have Jupiter in fucking Taurus. You know? Which gives you a really beautiful gift. Because Jupiter is your blessings. Jupiter is your gifts. Sorry. There was water on my cards. Had to rub it on my babies. Yeah, like Jupiter is essentially where our abundance is. And I'm feeling like you guys have an abundant voice. I feel like you guys have an abundant way of communicating. I feel like you guys have a really beautiful way of communicating. I feel like people really enjoy listening to you speak. And I think that the end of this transit has actually finally got you speaking and putting yourself out there. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse and we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So you guys were feeling an awful lot of anxiety about being seen and putting yourself out there. We have the Five of Wands in reverse and we have the Page of Wands in reverse with the Two of Cups as well. So it kind of feels as though you know, and you've known for this entire transit really, a lot of you guys are really like in alignment with your soul purpose. You're in alignment with your soul mission. But this transit, well, really, this transit has really helped you to get clear on that soul mission. But it's really helped you, I think, to let go of this energy of like starting and stopping. I'm feeling like a lot of you guys, you might have like been really, really into this project, into your mission, into your thing. You put a lot of work into it, you put a lot of time and energy into it, a lot of effort, and then things kind of like fall on the wayside, and then like, you know, things start going well, and then you start to take a step back, and that's that subconscious programming that is coming up and sabotaging you. You know what I mean? You're sabotaging yourself in your subconscious mind by stopping yourself from taking progress or making progress and taking action every time you start to see improvement, you start to see things getting better. So there's Five of Wands, Page of Wands, like all of this, it's pretty much just saying, stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting yourself because you feel like there are other people that might be out there that are better than you at what you are doing. I feel like a lot of you guys, the field that you're in, there's going to be competition. But I feel like you sometimes convince yourself that that competition is so much better than you, and you don't even give yourself a chance to actually be you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of you guys have people who genuinely are so amazed at the things that come out of your mouth. They're so amazed at what it is that you share and what it is that you do and how you help heal and guide. And, you know, a lot of you guys really, you're powerful healers. And I feel like a lot of people are so mesmerized by that, but you don't see it so clearly within yourself. There's a transformation that's happening within you where you're starting to see this within yourself now. I feel like by the end of this transit, you guys are going to be feeling more connected to your body. For my feminines out there, I feel like you guys are going to be more connected to your womb, to your cycle especially, to your femininity, to your, to just like essentially the parts of you that I think you were disconnected from before. Your emotions are no longer going to be something that is something to stash away and to like, you know, try and ignore and to move away from. I feel like your emotions are going to become something to be really intuitively guided by. You know what I mean? I feel like your emotions are now paving the way. They're leading the way. They're helping you find home. They're helping you find solace within yourself. I feel like this transit, the whole point of this North Node in transit for you, Pile 1, was to really get you in touch with your gifts, to really get you in touch with your service to humanity, to really get you in touch with where your mind was sabotaging your own self, where you've literally been sabotaging yourself in the past. Because like I said, Scorpio South Node, that is literally dealing with your shadows. That's dealing with the parts of you that are afraid, you know? And I feel like fear really came up a lot over these past 18 months. And that fear has essentially pushed you out into a world where you're no longer going to be terrified of actually Whoops, my video stopped at 30 minutes. Anyway, you guys are no longer going to be so afraid of expressing yourself authentically because your soul has been feeling stifled for years. Maybe even your entire lifetime, your soul has felt stifled because you haven't been able to actually share things the way you want to. I feel like there's this feeling of like always feeling as if something's in the way, you know what I mean? Like something's getting in the way, something's like pulling on your energy, something's trying to sort of fuck with you. And I think that this transit kind of woke you up to the fact that your subconscious mind has been fucking with yourself. You've been fucking with yourself, basically. Be brave and honest. Be brave enough to face the parts of you that really are ugly, the parts of you that really are uncomfortable to look at, the parts of you that, you know, are emotionally overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like forgiveness is huge here. Forgiveness is key. Connection. Like I said, this whole transit has woken up your intuitive gifts. It's woken up your psychic gifts. Some of you guys might also have a moon in Taurus, and so the North Node moving over your moon woke up your psychic gifts. It woke up your psychic awareness, and it's helping you to now share that with the collective. If you want to share your psychic gifts with the collective, or maybe you want to channel paintings, maybe you want to make art, whatever it is, you're doing it, you're channeling it, you know, you're doing it not alone. Whatever it is that you're your gift is that you share with the world, that you help heal others with, you're doing that with spirit right by your side, literally like channeling the messages through you, channeling the energy through you, you know, and you're aware of this. And I think that this entire transit woke you up to that, because I think now you can actually feel the divinity moving through you in a way that you were unaware of before. This has really matured you and leveled you up spiritually. This has been a spiritual level up. So, any last messages? What do we want? Let's get one last message for you, Pile 1, about the North Node in Taurus and how it's helped essentially bring you home to yourself. With Traveller, move in a new direction. Yeah, okay. So the last message is essentially, now that you have this direction, now that you know the path and you know where you want to go and the kind of energy that you want to embrace and embody, it's time to do that. You are ready to go, you know, you're ready to travel a new path, you're ready to try new things, you're ready to have a new experience. This is asking you to go out and to explore the world again and to explore yourself again. I feel like there's a lot of uncharted territory because a lot of you, I think, have been very quite isolated, and this is obviously, you know, a lot of us were in lockdown in the past. Probably, I can't remember if the lockdowns in Australia ended before or after the North Node transit, but I think they ended after North Node had already moved into Taurus. So for some of us, we literally would have been experiencing lockdowns during the North Node in Taurus, which, you know, would have had us really needing to face things within ourselves that we weren't before. How many people started to face shit that they hadn't faced as soon as lockdown happened? How many divorces and shit happened because people were finally like, oh man, I better actually deal with the shitty relationship that I'm in. You know? Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. The best thing you can do is really sit down and have a think. Like I said before, I want you to think about yourself 18 months ago. I want you to write down a list of where you're at, what was going on, what were you doing, what were your beliefs, how did you feel, and then now look at yourself fucking now and see how far you've come, because you've literally, at the beginning of those 18 months, your gifts were beginning to flourish, you were beginning to start sharing a part of yourself with the world that no one had ever seen, but you weren't fully there. By the time, now that this shift is here, now that the North Node is moving into Aries, well, it's time for you to share and unleash, literally, transform and unveil your gifts. It's time for you to really be able to stand in these gifts, stand in this power, and share it with conviction and stability behind you. You've needed to spend the past 18 months getting clear and sure on your gifts and not questioning it, not questioning your path, not questioning your journey. You are no longer questioning your journey. What is the song I'm thinking of? It is my loneliness. Moon on the forestness. Universal test. Feel the weight of my love. Put your hand on my chest and rest. Love Letters to God. Love Letters to God, Narco Bear. Listen to that song. That is a song for you. Love Letters to God. Because that's what I feel like these past 18 months have been for you. It's essentially you getting reacquainted with the God within you. With you getting reacquainted with spirit and reconnecting with spirit and feeling like you are at one with spirit again, because a lot of you guys went through a dark night of the soul, or subconsciously you were disconnected as fuck. You're not now. You're more connected now than you've ever been, and that is just such a beautiful thing. And I feel like now with this Traveller, the compass is in your heart. You're following the compass of your own soul. You're following the compass of your own spirit. It is guiding the way. These wolves here, wolves are guided by instinct. They're not guided, someone doesn't tell them where to fucking go. Someone doesn't tell them what to do. They fucking do it themselves. They're guided literally by the voice of nature, by the voice of spirit. So are you. And by the end of this transit, you're now aware of how much you're actually being guided by the voice of fucking spirit. It's mad. It's amazing. I'm so proud of you. You've done an amazing job. This is such a beautiful level up. It is just going to get better and better and better for you. I am going to do a North Node in Aries reading as well. So now we're going to look at the next karmic cycle that's beginning for you. But this is the karmic cycle that's sort of like coming to an end. You now accept your gifts. You are in your gifts. You can share your gifts. And even though it might just be early stages, it might just be the beginning phase of you feeling really confident in your gifts, that confidence is there. And it's time to put it out in the world, because it's going to bring you so much joy, and your sacred, this is sacred medicine. The world needs to see and feel what you have, because, you know, we're literally, you're doing a disservice to the planet by holding your gifts and hiding them to yourself. I've said this before. I listened to a podcast years ago, and the only quote I remember out of it was, he said, "The world needs your dream. The world needs your dream. The world needs your dream." Just, if that's all you need, write it on your fucking wall. The world needs my dream. Because it does. Because your dream is your dream for a reason. You are special. You are here to do something. You incarnated for a reason. So fulfill that. Follow that calling. It has a message for you, you know? Anyway, my throat hurts. I need to shut the fuck up. I love you so, so much, Part 1. I'm so stoked that you're here with me. Let me know in the comments what's going on. Let me know if it resonated. Let me know if you have any suggestions or ideas for future videos. Astrology and tarot related. Or spirituality as well, whatever floats your boat. If you would like to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me, you can do that through the link down below and head to my website. I think that's my outro, isn't it? Make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. It really helps to spread my channel out to more beautiful humans. And yeah, I feel like I'm about to have a coughing fit, so I'm just going to stop. I love you guys so, so much. I appreciate you. I thank you. Okay, damn it, guys. I did have a coughing fit. Let's finish this now. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, and all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing us to receive and for me to deliver this reading. I hope that it was exactly what you needed to hear right here and now in these moments, and I'm sending you so much love, so much light, so much blessings for the month ahead, for the time ahead, for life, all that shit. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next reading. Peace. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this little angel baby, then this is going to be your reading. Alright, so, North Node in Taurus, how has that affected you, Group 2? First up, we have the card Spring, see your seeds grow. Now, my first message, I feel like for you guys, the North Node in Taurus has really opened you up to maybe where you want... I'm getting like relationship, family, kids vibes. Like, I don't know, for you guys, it feels like a seed has been planted. A seed was planted at the beginning of the North Node in Taurus. And I feel like it's growing, it's blossoming, it's really starting to take root. So we have Shaman, trust in higher forces. We have Sun, enjoy success and happiness. We have Autumn, release the old and rest. So we have Spring and we have Autumn out here, and we have the Sun. So I feel like you guys have been through a lot of seasons throughout this transit. It is an 18-month transit, so there's obviously a lot of shifts, a lot of things that happen in 18 months. But it really feels like for you guys are putting some things to rest. You guys are putting some things to bed. I feel like a lot of you guys, this feels like it's got to do with partnerships or relationships, friends, family, just like, it's really giving me like, it's giving me like really wholesome vibes, just connection vibes. I feel like you guys maybe started out the beginning of North Node in Taurus not super duper connected with the people around you, not super duper, I don't feel like you guys were super connected with, you know, your environment, to be perfectly honest. Maybe you were really unhappy with the place you were living. It feels like what North Node in Taurus has done is it's kind of like forced you to start to have a bit more faith. It's forced you to start to let go, because I feel like this resistance that you were holding towards maybe a certain place, maybe letting go of a certain person, maybe letting go of even a career, or just maybe letting go of a family member. Look, we have second house of owning coming up. We have the South Node, life's debts, and fourth house of roots underneath that. With Scorpio, so the South Node literally has been in Scorpio. That is what this reading is about. So this has been very strong for you guys. I feel like you guys have experienced some darkness. I feel like you guys have experienced some depth throughout this chapter. I feel like for some of you guys, you might have experienced the crumbling of a family unit. You might have just watched how your family has changed. I feel like maybe connections have changed, friendships have changed. It just feels like an awful lot of physical change. With the second house coming out, it might even be that, you know, because it is Taurus and Scorpio that we're dealing with this energy, it's money. Money's coming up. So it could be that, you know, money family-wise was tight. Maybe it's been, you know, you've been through a situation where you've watched family members lose things, or you've lost things, or you guys have lost a family home. You know, the Empress is coming out, the Queen of Coins at the bottom of the deck. For some of you guys, it feels like you've lost a connection to one part of family and you're regaining a connection to another part of family. And what I mean by that is, maybe an example would be, I'm losing connection with my biological family. Maybe things with my parents have changed. Maybe things are different. Maybe we're living in totally different places. Maybe we're in totally different phases. Maybe we're just not connecting the way we used to. There's a change. There's a shift. Something's transforming. The old ways have needed to die. The old ways have needed to be let go. I feel like with you guys, it feels like there's a lot of family karma. There's a lot of ancestral karma in your lineage. And this North Node, South Node, North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio has brought up a lot of the shadows of that. So it might have brought up a lot of family shadows that have needed to be dealt with. You know, skeletons in the closet type stuff. And so you guys now, with my example, it's like you've disconnected from maybe a part of family that you once really connected with, and maybe now you're starting to go out on your own, i.e. maybe you're starting to think about children, maybe you're starting to think about having your own kids, maybe you're starting to think about settling down, being in a healthy, committed relationship, you know, all that sort of stuff. It feels like there's a shift here in when you allow, like, pretty much as you allow the old to die and the old to be put to rest, it's like the new is literally beginning right in front of your eyes. So I feel like North Node in Taurus has been a huge wake-up call for your lineage. I feel like North Node in Taurus kind of woke you up to your own sense of self-worth, and where you have been denying yourself abundance, where you've been denying yourself a fresh start, where you've been denying yourself happiness by sticking to a paradigm and sticking inside a paradigm that wasn't serving you. And that could be, you know, for a lot of you guys, it's family. It might even be where you grew up. It might be the town that you lived in. Some of you guys, like the North Node in Taurus, might have had you moving back to your old town, you know what I mean? Your old family home. It might have had you reconnecting with family members, and that's why you've needed to sort of move through this energy, because up until you dealt with that actual energy, up until you were physically there, you know what I mean, and up until you saw your mum again, up until you had another conversation with your dad, up until, you know, whatever it was that sort of woke you up to being like, oh god, I gotta heal from some family shit. Up until then, you were bypassing it, you were pushing it away, you didn't want to see it, you know what I mean? It's like, guys, I'm fucking dying. It's so hard to talk. All I do is film readings, and my throat has literally been like this for like 2 weeks. A week, not that long, I don't know, but it's really shitting me. Anyway, you know what? Frustration, because it you know what? I actually feel like that's a channeled message. Like, the health of your connection to your family, I feel like, has suffered. Maybe the health of actual family members. Health in general feels like it might have kind of been a little scary at times. Things have maybe been a bit uncomfortable. Maybe there's been a couple of, like, experiences that you've had over these past 18 months that kind of woke you up to where you need to be paying more attention. To where you need to be putting more time and investing more into your health. But really, it's just like, it's just been an opportunity for you to trust for you to learn to trust again, because I feel like you guys have a little bit of skepticism when it comes to letting go and allowing the universe to like guide you. And of course, like, that's fucking hard to do. It's really easy to say that I trust in the universe. It's actually really hard to do it, though. It's really hard to genuinely actually trust in the universe and think that, you know, everything's gonna be alright, because we're humans. We're fucking, you know, we want to see it, smell it, taste it, touch it. We don't want to just believe that everything's going to be okay. We want to see it. We want to know that it's going to be okay. We want to know that we are going to make it through to the other side of something. You know what I mean? And I feel like throughout this transit, throughout this period, there have been situations where you didn't know whether you were going to make it out on the other side. You didn't know whether you were going to get to the other side and it was going to be fucking even more pain, or if it was going to be release, whether it was going to be joy. I feel like there's a real like uncertainty that you guys have experienced throughout this transit. We have the Eight of Wands and we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So I feel like for some of you guys, like, I feel like you had people let you down. Seven of Coins. I feel like you had people let you down. I feel like there were certain disappointments that have come up over these past 18 months. I feel like for a lot of you guys, it really has to do with, yeah, Five of Coins, Page of Coins, Judgment underneath that. So a lot of you guys, like, it really has to do with your future and what you now want to create. Because I feel like for some of you guys, it's feeling like the connections that you had in the past, relationships, especially with this Knight of Cups in reverse, it feels like you've had lovers in the past who weren't, who were kind of full of it. Like, that's such the vibe I'm getting. Like, people that might maybe talked the talk, but they didn't actually walk the walk. I think North Node in Taurus has had you solidifying on what a true healthy relationship looks and feels like to you. How can you actually truly connect with that? I think that you guys are now in a space where you're wanting to expand, where you're wanting to give birth to new things. And I feel like that's new projects. I feel like that's new adventures. But for some of you guys, it's literally families. Like, it's literally like you're ready to start your own family. You're ready to start, or thinking about getting to the point of starting your own family. You're ready to start wanting to actually commit with someone and slow down. And that's been difficult. It feels like over the past 18 months with this Five of Coins and the Page of Coins, it's like everything you start, it kind of hasn't actually manifested the way you wanted it to. It feels like lack, once again, especially with money. It kind of feels like maybe you guys have tried a bunch of different jobs and things haven't worked out. It just feels like there's almost like this karmic, I'm hearing the word like karmic retribution, and I've heard that before. Karmic retribution. It's kind of like Page of Wands. Like, that was just Men in Black. So, you know, it's kind of like, I feel like you guys have been hiding, or you've been wanting to hide. Okay, sorry guys. Another fucking coffin fit. Anyway, Five of Coins, Page of Coins, Judgment. I feel like you guys have been really judging yourself because I feel like you haven't had the resources. Like, resources have been tight over the past 18 months, and I feel like you judge yourself about that. I feel like you have been telling yourself that you're essentially like a failure in some points. Like, some of you guys literally feel like you're destined to not experience abundance. It feels like some of you guys literally over these 18 months have told yourself some really toxic shit. And I think that you guys are like waking up to that. As this transit ends, as this transit comes to a close, you're seeing things, I think, from a little bit of a higher perspective. I think that you're letting these old thoughts, these old beliefs, this old sort of like muck and shit that you have built up around money and finances and your family and your lineage, I feel like you're letting them go. I feel like you have money issues that stem from ancestral beliefs and ancestral experiences. And so it's time to kind of like take charge. It's time to make this shit happen. We have the Nine of Cups coming out. So you guys are more connected to your happiness than you've ever been. And look, we have the Nine of Coins and the Nine of Cups. So you guys, the end of Taurus North Node is bringing you money. It's finally bringing you the money that you desire. It's finally bringing you the passion that you have, that you needed to sort of get you out into the world. I feel like some of you guys, you might have struggled with the vision. You might have struggled with, you know, connecting to what it is that you truly wanted to do with this 4th house roots. It's kind of like you might have procrastinated for a little while on getting yourself out there, because that's the thing. Like, this is a similar message to pile 1, so everyone that's tuned into my channel, you guys, I feel like you guys have similar shit going on, and that's why your messages are similar. But it feels like for pile 1, you know, it was more so about like actually finding their gifts and sharing them with the world. But for you guys, it feels like you have ancestral gifts, you have ancestral knowledge, you have ancestral stuff, like really a strong ancestral connection, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, you know what I mean? You might have a really strong ancestral connection, but that's a negative connection that you have. Like, you have a lot of pent-up anger, a lot of pent-up feelings towards your family. That's what South Node in Scorpio will bring that up. South Node in Scorpio will wake that up. It's going to make you have to deal with it. So the 9 of Coins and the 9 of Cups, like, you've come from this Page of Coins and this 5 of Coins. You're coming from this young energy that just, you know, I think at the beginning of this transit, you might have even started like a new job. You might have tried to launch your own business. And I feel like you might have felt really unsupported by your family. You might have felt like your family wasn't there. Maybe they were meant to show up for you in ways that they said they would, or that they promised, or that you were hoping, and it didn't quite happen. I think that the end of this transit has you connecting with what family truly means to you, with what your roots really are sort of bringing into fruition, because, you know, the roots of the tree is what feeds the tree, and the tree grows and then bears fruit. So I feel like this is needing to clean up the roots a little bit. It's needing to, like, I'm seeing like a bonsai tree and someone like tending to the roots of the bonsai. So in order to get to this 9 of Coins and this 9 of Cups, you need to sort of follow this Knight of Wands, and this Knight of Wands is saying, look, we don't know what is out there. We don't know what is sort of going to happen when you start to make these changes, and when you start to put your boundaries up. I don't want to say walls, but when you start to put your boundaries up towards people who need to be boundaried, when you start to set yourself free, and when you start to follow your happiness, when you start to enjoy your success, when you start to actually see your success, this is uncharted territory for both you and your lineage. So trust in higher forces, you know, trust in the wisdom of spirit, trust in the fact that things are growing, things are getting better each and every single day. You have a lot of abundance that is coming for you, a lot of abundance that is manifesting. It's not just about the money though. I feel like it's the knowing what to do with the money. I feel like for some of you guys, like, you've literally had to learn how to grow into money. You're learning how to actually take care of money and finances. For a lot of you guys, you might have had parents, or just you grew up in situations where people didn't really understand finances, and so they were a little bit taboo. Not anymore. We have the Sun coming out in the Ace of Wands, so this is so exciting. Guys, there's a lot of joy. This transit was here to wake you up to a lot of joy. This transit was here to wake you up to where you really are abundant. It's forgiving your past. It's forgiving your ancestors. It's forgiving your family. That's what's really coming up. A lot of you guys have family stuff that has stifled you as you moved out into the world. And North Node in Taurus has had you really connecting with the essence of you, because Taurus is the body. It's the self, you know. It is connection to our senses. I feel like you guys up before this transit, you know, were a little bit disconnected from your senses. You're a little bit disconnected from your abilities, from your gifts, you know, from, I think, even your creativity. So many things. It feels like you were super disconnected because you were living in this this energy of like being stuck in old patterns, stuck in old paradigms. You might have like literally believed that you know, you would never be anything bigger than what you are. You would never receive any more than you already have. This is having to clean up the mind space, to clean up essentially your entire vibration when it comes to money. But it starts with your emotions. It starts with your private world. It starts with what people don't see. You know what I mean? People don't see you behind closed doors, and I think that you behind closed doors in the past was someone who probably procrastinated, someone who probably ignored, who tried to focus maybe on watching movies, you know, spending time just chilling, spending time just I feel like you guys in the past, you guys didn't want, oh my god, sorry, I just realised that my light's not on. Oh, and it's not turning on. Look, okay, so this is a message. I feel like in the past, the light was gone. I feel like you guys were missing literally the light. Like, there is a coldness. There was did I say that before? I'm sure I said that before. There was a coldness in the past, and what's coming up now with this Taurus having moved through the North Node having moved through Taurus, the sun is coming back out. Joy is coming back out. You have the sun out here twice. Like, there is so much happiness, there's so much joy here, there's so much light. I feel like you guys are going to be in such a lighter vibration. North Node Taurus has really had you cleaning up and releasing these debts. I feel like you guys actually had ancestral debts that were keeping you in lack, that were keeping you in feelings of poverty, you know what I mean? And I feel like that, by the end, like, you guys don't feel like that anymore. I feel like, you know, the Shaman card coming out, you've literally had to completely transform, literally recalibrate yourself to an entire new way of being. Trust in higher forces. Like, you've been following the voice of spirit this whole time. You've been listening to the nudges, you've been listening to your intuition, and it's been guiding you on a journey that's really going to bring you so much more abundance. I feel like there's so much independence here. I feel like with this roots coming out, it might be that you guys felt really non-independent. You might have felt codependent, especially on your family in the past. Maybe you guys felt like, you know, you hadn't quite left the nest, or you were still attached to the nest in some way. And I feel like North Node in Taurus has kind of connected you back with this sense of being back with you, coming back home to yourself, coming back home to where you're actually really worthy, where you're actually really deserving of abundance. And you know, it's okay to want to go out and do things on your own, and it's okay to want to start a family of your own, you know what I mean? It's okay to leave the past in the past. We have Sedna coming out, there is always enough. So literally, this card is all about abundance. So you guys were really in a lack mentality before, and North Node Taurus has tried to get you back into an abundance mindset, and this abundance mindset really is what's bringing you a lot of joy. We have Amaterasu, No More Hiding, who also came out for pile 1. So both of you guys, you know, it's funny, similar messages, same but different. You guys just are really coming out of a period of being, I think, like, in just like a period of darkness. Like, this is sort of dark night of the soul stuff. I feel like for some of you guys, like, it literally felt like you might have been in a grey period. I heard someone, I can't remember what it was, but someone was talking about depression the other day, and they called it living in the grey. And I liked that. I was like, it's like living in the grey. And I feel like you guys were living in the grey up until now. North Node Taurus is waking you back up to the light again. It's waking you back up to brightness and happiness. I'm just seeing like all this yellow and green. It's like outside, being in nature. Taurus is nature. So it's having you coming back out of your cocoon. I feel like some of you guys were hiding in a cave. It literally feels like a cave. It feels like you kind of were keeping yourself sitting in the dark. Look, this is like, look how, she's cold. She's fucking Eskimo. She's cold. The energy was really cold, and now, North Node Taurus, things are heating up. Things are coming to the end of North Node in Taurus, things are heating up. North Node is moving into Aries, so that is fire. That is heat. We're moving from earth to fire. So the desires, the passion, the excitement, all of that is coming back. You know, the beauty. I feel like I just literally heard the word birth. Some of you guys are giving birth to businesses, you're giving birth to babies, you're giving birth to projects, you're giving birth to so many different things. And I think the reason why North Node in Taurus kind of had to feel so difficult was because of this South Node in Scorpio. It had you needing to release these life debts. Like South Node, it literally says life's debts. Like the South Node is where we come into this world with baggage, with shit that we need to sort of heal, and we do that by focusing on the North Node. And so the South Node being in Scorpio is what are the shadows, what are the demons that we need to face, what are the discomforts that we need to start to pay attention to, where have we been maybe giving our soul away to others, you know what I mean? Giving our essence away to others, whether it's family members, friends, lovers, all that sort of stuff, giving it away because we you know, aren't aware. It feels like an unawareness of where we're literally kind of feeding into old ancestral patterns of disbelief in the self and disbelief in the way that things can get better. You're the one to change it. Like, literally, I say this, I said this to a client the other day. It was, she had such a powerful reading when it came to her ancestors. Oh my god. And yeah, that's right. The quote was, it runs in my family until it runs into me. That's it. It ran in my family until it ran into me. That is you right now. Like, until this thing has run into you, this lack mentality ran into you, it's done now. This lack mentality, this feeling of not enoughness, it is never going to be as prevalent in your ancestral lineage as it was with you ever again, because you're the one that's healing it, because you've woken up from it, because you're now here to like share your healing with the world, to share your healing with your family, to share your healing with the people that you connect with. And when I say share your healing with the world, that's kind of like, you know, you're just going out into the world and being that healed version of you heals others. Healed people heal people. Hurt people hurt people. So, you know, you guys have healed so much of this fear of money, fear of abundance, and it's bringing you joy. You guys might have prominent Taurus or Scorpio placements, and so essentially healing this ancestral financial karma, it's bringing you a lot of satisfaction. It's bringing you a lot of health again. Like we talked about, health is really important for you guys, because I feel like you haven't been able to focus on your health at times because of the lack thing, because of money. Maybe you have family members who literally weren't able to get help because of resources, because of money, and you don't ever want to see that happen again in your lineage. You don't ever want to see someone have to fucking suffer because they didn't have enough ever again. You don't want to see people have to give birth in ways that they don't want to, or that aren't aligned with them, because they don't have the resources to experience something different, you know? This is being motivated by what you guys didn't have in the past. You're now motivated to see what you can actually plant and grow and harvest. Like, this is you sowing your own seeds. Sacred contracts is like essentially, you had a contract with your family, you had a contract with the people that you chose to incarnate on this earth with, and that contract said, you need to work through financial karma. You need to work through financial shit, and so you're going to incarnate with this particular thing, all this stuff going on. You're going to incarnate into our lineage so that we can move through this together as a family, and that we can heal each other, because our souls are bonded. You know, this Roots card, I don't know if you can see it, but at the top of this tree is two people hugging. They're in an embrace. So, you know, this is soul embrace. You guys are very, very powerfully connected. And I think a lot of you guys probably have partners. Not all of you will have partners, but some of you guys already have a partner that is a very genuine soulmate. And I think that it might have been difficult throughout these past few years because of resources and finances. It might have made the relationship difficult. It might have even had you guys at times, you know, unsure as to whether it was going to work. But with this trust in higher forces, with the shaman, you've always trusted. You've always had to lean on that trust, and that trust has gotten you to a point where now I think things are getting healthier and healthier. Things are starting to look different. It's starting to feel more flowy. It's starting to feel more easy. You're starting to have more resources. You don't actually need to stress so much. You don't need to try so hard. You don't need to push, and you know, and so it feels like you guys are finally going to be able to have the healthy family that you really want to have. Now, for others of you who are single, it's had you healing past relationships. Maybe the relationship that you witnessed between parents. I say this all the time. It's really important to pay attention to how we were raised and the relationships that we witnessed, because they're going to base the foundation for us as we age, as we become adults, for the relationships that we're going to experience. So, you know, I feel like you guys have healed through some toxic shit. South Node life steps. You've given your sacrifice. It feels like you've sacrificed now. You've done your due diligence. You've been through I heard the ringer, like you've been through the fucking ring. You've been through so much strife. You've been through so much hardship and so much struggle. And I think that you've had to sort of remain optimistic in this weird way the whole time. Even though you might have felt really negative and like depressed, there's always been this like level of kind of like optimism where you kind of could see in the future that things were going to get better. Well, the time is here. Now that the North Node is moving out of Taurus, this energy is coming to a close, so these lessons are finally wrapping up. You know how I said in the intro with a neat little bow? These lessons are wrapping up now, so you're no longer going to be like facing these fears around money. Essentially, you're going to be, you've mostly healed through them. Like, I'm getting that you've healed through a lot of this, and that's why the sun's coming out in the Nine of Cups, because you're now ready to experience this on a physical, actual level. Manifestation-wise, your frequency has changed. Your frequency is higher. Your frequency is now in alignment with what it is that you want, because in the past it wasn't. Because it was in the past your frequency was aligned with the South Node. It was aligned with where you've been, not where you're going. So no more hiding. It's time to come out of your shell. It's time to share. Look, the sun twice. Like, it's time to put yourself back out in the world, to connect with people, to connect with your career, to connect with just so many things. This disconnection that you felt in the past, it's gone now. Sorry guys, that just totally cut me off and I didn't know where I was at, so I don't know the last thing I said, but oh well. It kind of just feels like you guys are just really, look, we have the Magician. You guys are just like creating, you guys are manifesting. This is pretty much coming to a point where, like, I think for the past 3 years you felt like you weren't manifesting shit. I feel like maybe if it did feel like you were manifesting, it felt like you were manifesting backwards, like you were manifesting shit that you don't want. It kind of felt like maybe you had to have a few negative manifestations because you needed to release your attachment to, like, money. I think that you guys had an attachment to the belief that money makes you happy. Money brings joy, money brings light, and I think that now you've been through this entire process, I think that you've come to the conclusion that money's not going to buy you happiness. Money's not going to be the thing on your deathbed that you give a fuck about. It's going to be the relationships, the sacred contracts that you have with other people. So now that you're actually coming to a point where you are going to have money, you're going to experience abundance again, it's feeling like, you know, the funny thing is it's people that don't have money that are more focused on money than the people that do. Like, we think that rich people are obsessed with money. They're fucking not. They know how to work money. They know how to make money work for them. That's the difference. People that are, like, you know, I call myself financially illiterate. I'm changing that now. Like, this is my vibe too. Like, I'm completely changing that. So I can no longer say that I'm financially illiterate. Essentially, I'm like, no, we are just learning, you know? We're just learning. We weren't blessed with the knowledge. I didn't grow up with parents that told me fucking anything about money. All I ever listened to was my dad complain about it and my mum be greedy with it. So, you know, that was the way I grew up. And so, you know, you have similar things where you've needed to, like, grow up and find your own way when it comes to money. No longer looking at it as the be-all and end-all of happiness. It's like I said before, like, you need it. You've come to a conclusion that, yes, we need it for health. We need it for being able to exist in a stable, healthy, kind of, like, nice way on this planet, because that's just what it is. We need money to live because we have created it that way. But it's not being so focused on it that it's, like, literally everything in life. Like, you're not obsessed with it to the point where it's consuming you anymore. And when you didn't have enough, it was. And so that's why you're able to focus on new things now. You're able to focus on life in a different way because you're not constantly sitting here in anxiety about, oh my god, where am I going to get my next dollar? Where am I going to get my next dollar? Where is, like, I need more money, like, I can't exist. You know, it's that fear is finally dissipating. You're finally seeing the light again because it's time, because you're worthy, because you're deserving of it, and because your beliefs have started to change about yourself, because your beliefs are starting to believe that you are worthy and that you are deserving and that you've been working really hard over these past 18 months. I think a lot of you guys, you might even have, like, a side hustle, or you just work really hard on your job, or you do have your own business. And then you put in a lot of work, and it might be that you haven't seen the rewards. End of this transit, you're going to start to see the rewards. The rewards are starting to come in because you've learned the fucking lessons, you've done the karmic work, you've done the journey. You're about to experience the blessings, you know what I mean? It's like the beginning of the most abundant version of you that you've ever known, and that's so freaking exciting. And as much as you've had to go through all this struggle and all this annoying shit to get to here, don't you feel like you're glad that you did. You know what I mean? Like this whole 18-month period, this lack, all this not having enough, all this financial fear, it woke you up to not wanting to live in this state anymore, you know? Sedna, there is always enough. I feel like she wants us to read her card, and then I'm going to end it there, my loves. So, she says, have respect and gratitude for natural resources. Work on your relationship with money. Sedna brings messages about sustenance, gratitude, and the plentiful supply of everything that nourishes you. There's a never-ending flow of divine energy that creates all of your practical provisions. Money, money, water, food, shelter, air to breathe. This same universal wellspring delivers unseen nurturance such as support, kindness, time, and love. Sedna says, be thankful for every gift you receive. The supply of oxygen, your daily food and water, your home and clothing, kindness from a stranger, support from your loved ones. Oh my god, you guys are experiencing so much more happiness, gratitude, and abundance as you start to be genuinely thankful for the things that you already have. I think that there was a lack mentality that you have, like you might have actually had enough throughout this entire transit, but you didn't see it or feel it that way. And now it's at the end of the transit where you're going, holy shit, I am fucking provided for as shit. I am abundant. You know, it may not be that I have all this money in the bank, but I got plenty of air to breathe. I got plenty of food in my belly. I got a roof over my head. I got clothes that I like. I got a phone. You know, like, come on. If you're watching this, you're in the Western world. We ain't got fucking, we're blessed. We are privileged motherfuckers. So let's not forget the fact that we are living with more privilege than the vast majority of humans that ever even get to exist on this planet right now. So be aware of that, you know? This is big financial lessons, and that might sound a little bit harsh, but it's true. We have to be honest with ourselves, and that's not taking away any of the lackful things that you've experienced, because that's genuine and that's real as well. We just need to maintain an understanding that we should be pretty fucking grateful for what we do have, even if we haven't had enough in the past. You know what I mean? I feel like, yeah, you get it. Okay. Balance and gratitude are everything. You must not hoard or be stingy, nor must you be wasteful or steal from life. Be honorable with money. Do your best to pay off debts and create healthy budgets. Do you need to heal an ingrained fear of scarcity or invest in yourself more generously? Or are you being asked to spread your wealth and support those who have less? Give back as much as you take. Disrupting the equilibrium is unwise and won't lead you to happiness. I literally said the word equilibrium before. That's fucking weird. Your needs are always met. Additional meanings. Your life's purpose involves marine conservation. Ooh. Investigate your beliefs about money. Organize your finances. Contribute resources to charity. Invocation. I'm thankful for all that I have. Prosperity is a state of mind. So yes, holy shit guys, money beliefs are so big for you. Like that card said, releasing lack, releasing fear, releasing hoarding, greed, all that sort of stuff. It might even be that like you guys have had enough, but you're hoarding every last dollar at this point. And it's coming to the point where that's lack mentality that's going to keep you in an energy that you're already in, you know what I mean? So it's gratitude is going to get you fucking everywhere. Be in an attitude of gratitude. Start writing down your affirmations. Start seeing the blessings and the beauty. Even if it's sunshine, walking out, you need to, I'm giving you a homework. Walk outside every single day and look at the sun and be grateful. Put your face in the sun, be grateful, okay? Every time the sun, be grateful. When you walk outside and you put your feet on the earth, be grateful that you have the earth to stand on. Be grateful for the food that the earth provides you. Little things. You don't have to be grateful for all this amazing stuff like, oh, I'm so grateful that I have this thriving business. You know, all this shit. Don't fuck with that. Just be like, I am grateful for the air in my lungs. I am grateful for the blankets on my bed. I'm grateful for my fucking mattress. I am grateful for cheese. I am grateful for feta cheese. I'm grateful for halloumi cheese. You know, like just little things. You go down the rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole, because I promise you, if you spend 5 minutes a day going down the motherfucking rabbit hole of gratitude, you are going to go to, like Alice in Wonderland, you're going to pop out on the other side and you're just going to be like, oh, and living in this sun. Living in this sun energy, this joyful, happy, high vibe energy. It's here for you, but you have to tap into it. You have to be available to this energy, because this energy is always available, but you need to be tapped into it. It's not like this energy, you know, this energy is on its own frequency. The frequency of joy is its own frequency. We need to match that frequency in order to experience it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to leave your reading here, group 2. I love you so, so much. I really hope that this resonated. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some love, some truth, some fun, some hopefulness, because things are really going to be looking good for you. Do give this video a like if you did vibe with it. It really helps to spread my channel to more beautiful humans. Let me know in the comments as well if you guys have any suggestions for future videos, tarot, astrology, spirituality, anything that you like. Let me know what you're vibing with. If you want to book a personal tarot or astrological reading with me, you can do that down below through the link in my bio. I always say that, it's fucking description box. We ain't on Instagram. Yeah, I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments, for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message to you. It's such a gift. I love this. It's so much fun. Let me know what's going on with you guys. I would really, really appreciate your feedback. I feel like this group in particular, like, I'm really keen to see, like, let me know as the months progress, like, what goes on when it comes to your resources and finances, because I just feel like it's going to be super duper positive, and I really want to hear from you and, like, you know, how it feels to now have moved and shifted out of this energy, because this is a huge thing that I'm dealing with in my life. So I feel really like energized and excited by your reading, because I'm like, ooh, maybe this is going to be happening for me too. We'll see what group I pick. Maybe both. Anyway, guys, I love you so, so much. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Peace.